friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy with Amy Plans Things, and today we're doing another creative journal video. This one's going to be a little bit different, both in what I'm creating. It still has a lot of flaps and things, but it's not a Dutch door. And I am also doing this voiceover. If you watched my planner content that I just recently posted, you'll know that the house next door is getting torn down. Well, it was torn down and they're rebuilding. So some weeks are louder than others. So this week I thought it'd be fun to try this new setup and do some voiceovers and put my face on it so you guys all get to know me as well. So this week we are using some die cuts. I have a cool, what would you call it? A cool device called a Sizzix machine. If you're into card making, you'll know what it is. And I recently decided to start adding some stuff into my creative journal. I got a whole bunch of die cut frames that I was choosing between, and I chose one to create these waterfall like flaps on a page. So it's only going to be one full page, like 2 pages of journaling, but we might be able to get a couple more days out of it because it's going to have these flaps. I'm also going to use this other die cut that I have that's kind of watery and cute, so we're going to use that as well. And then we're going to use Planything, the sticker book and washi tape from one of the recent subscription kits. So it is sold out. So I'm sorry that it's sold out, but it's really cute and beachy and summery. And if you love it, please think about signing up for the subscription kit because it has been very popular. There is a washi tape subscription as well, but it would not come with these stickers and it has different tapes. Anyways, the link is down below if you want to subscribe. But this is the Sizzix machine, and as you can see here, it has all these like things that are coming out of it right now. It's all these plates and they stick together really hard. And what you do is put your paper down and your die cut template down, and then you push it through it and it cuts it. So I'll link the cheapest die cut machine that I can find down below in case you're interested in trying it out. This Sizzix one, Sizzix, not saying it right. This one, I think I got it for $100 or so on Prime Day a couple years ago when I was doing a bunch of card making, and it's super fun. But yeah, so anyways, these are Planything scrapbook papers that also came in the kit, so I'm figuring out which ones I'm going to use, and you'll see how this all comes together. You'll see how the waterfall tabs work, but it took me a little while to figure it all out. So I'm gonna pop out the the scrapbook paper as the like front cover, and then have a plain color on the back for journaling. I'm going to use pink on the back and then blue for the waves that we're going to punch out as well. While I'm doing this, I'm using a little bit of washi tape to hold the die cut template down on the scrapbook paper so it doesn't shift while I'm cutting it out. I found back when I was doing a lot of card making that sometimes things would shift and then your lines wouldn't be exactly straight and it wouldn't cut properly. So that is one tip if you are getting into this kind of thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that you don't need a die cut machine to do this sort of stuff. You can totally just kind of take the shape or find a shape and print it out on your printer and create a little stencil and then stencil it out on your scrapbook paper and cut it out by hand. So you can do this without the die cut machine and still make these flaps and all this kind of stuff. The other thing is that I just came out with a junk journal kit. I'll link that video right here if I remember. But I created some pockets, and in that junk journal kit, it already has the templates that all you have to do is just cut them out and you can make the pockets. So I'll try to create some other templates for other types of things like these flaps with like the images already in them and everything. So you can just print it out and use it. I'm sure other people already have this kind of stuff as well. So you can check out Etsy or other sites to see if there are ones that you can just print and they already have the lines ready to go for where you need to cut and everything. I think the longest part of this was honestly cutting out all the die cuts because it took so long to just put everything through the machine, take off all the pieces, put the next one down, and so on. I used double-sided tape to stick the scrapbook papers onto the cardstock so that I had the 3 pages ready to go. And then it just took me a moment to play with it to figure out the order that I wanted, as well as how these flaps fold down and how much spacing I wanted, if any, between the flaps, which, side note, I did not decide on any gap because I thought all the pink looked best together rather than having little white strips in between them. So they're all going to be next to each other. The hardest thing about these scrapbook papers is that they're double-sided, so I can only use one side of it and then the other side is gone, or I have to cut it in half and then only get half of each side. So I had to make a choice as to which sides to use, and you can see which ones I chose. I thought the colors looked really good together. And so I'm just getting this all set up before I start decorating the page because I need to see how it's going to be laid out. I think it looks so cute, and it's so fun just to have these kind of crafty things to put into your journal. And you're gonna see how I put it together so that I can journal on it. And I'm pretty proud of myself for figuring this out so it isn't weird to write on, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Besides double-sided tape, I also used some little tiny glue pen on these intricate little pieces from the waves. And so the glue pen I think I got from Stationery Pal. I do have a code and a link down below if you want to shop from there. They have lots of fun little one-off items and stickers and washi tapes and things like that if you want just cheap little items and some cool things like these little glue pens. So it was really good for those edges so they aren't like coming up off the page, but also since they're cut through, I didn't want the tape going all the way across it and sticking my pages together. So the glue pen worked pretty well. I took a look through a couple of sticker books to decide what to use for the journaling sections, and I ultimately decided on using Mojo Jojo Plans black boxes, and I just grabbed the big black boxes and the ones with the lines in them for journaling, and I'm going to stick them on that blue piece of paper there. And what I decided to do, here's the tricky part, is, so I'm gonna put them down and then cut it out. So it's just this nice square to put on the back of these flaps. But instead of gluing or taping that down right now, I just am attaching it with washi tape so that I can pull it off and write on it. And then I'll actually tape it down to be super secure when I'm done writing on it so that I can have it, you know, in my journal forever. But I think writing on these flaps as they're open is gonna be really awkward and weird. And so then I can just pull it off and write on it and not have to deal with that. I was pretty happy when I figured that out. And now we're to the point of decorating, now that we have just the kind of like base of it done. And that, I mean, that was all the tricky part. Now it's the super fun part of just figuring out how I'm gonna get journaling on this other page and what I'm gonna decorate everything with. So I'm flipping through all the pages, seeing what stickers resonate with me and go along with this theme pretty well with the cardstock and the other scrapbook papers and all of that. So I decided on this little beach scene down in that corner because I just wanted to fill that tiny little gap there. And then the rest of the other side can go from there. I did have to trim the tiniest little bit of it with my gyro cut because it was coming up over the wave and I didn't want that. So I just cut off the tiniest little bit. And then now we can decorate the other side, which of course we need a little space for writing because it is a journal page. So I'll need some boxes and some decorations. I ultimately decided that this one house would look really good at the top of that page and then realized boxes were important before I decorate the rest of the page. So I went ahead and found which boxes from Mojo Jojo Plans I wanted to put into the spread to match the ones on the back of the page. And I love creating little clusters. I know a lot of the time in my creative journal with my Dutch door spreads, I use mild liners and I make my own boxes and things. But when I'm in my planner, I do a lot of layering with boxes to make these cool little clusters. And so I'm doing that here because there's so much going on in this page already. I'm not adding mild liners or anything else like that, just because we've got so much going on. So this is very different than my typical creative journal spread, but I absolutely adore how it came out. It was fun to get creative and crafty and do something different. Now that I have all these die cuts, I feel like I'm gonna be doing that a little bit more, but definitely Dutch doors like get the most bang for the buck because I can decorate, you know, 6 to 10 days at a time in one 45-minute video. And then I have more than a week of journaling, whereas this one is, it's gonna be shorter than 45 minutes, I think, since we're speeding some of it up, but it only got me 2 pages. So maybe 3 days out of it with the flaps, but definitely took just as long to decorate, right? So it's not as efficient, especially with 2 young kids and, you know, having to voice over some of this because of the neighbor's house project. And yeah, so Dutch doors mostly still, but this is a fun experiment. Let me know if you like the die cuts or the Dutch doors or you want to see a little bit of both. Then I realized something. I didn't decorate the back of the pages at all. I just have the boxes to write on in, and you guys know I love my stickers. So of course, I'm gonna decorate those too. Every single back of the flap, I don't know what to call it, the pink side with the boxes will have a different theme from the sticker book in it. And so I just chose stickers that I thought would kind of frame it all well. And you'll see how that comes together, but I think it brought it all together and I really, really loved it. And then as I finished up the design, I started showing how all of it worked and pulled it on out so you could see me, you know, opening up all the flaps. And then I realized I didn't decorate or put a sticker down on the actual page underneath all the flaps in that little cluster of boxes there. So I realized that I still had to decorate that. So we're about to do that. And I just found one simple sticker, put it in there, and then it was all done. So if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what themes you'd like to see next. If you want Dutch doors or other cool little lift the flap things like this, let me know what you're interested in. Happy to do theme suggestions and give you guys some ideas. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.